Okay, it's 6:30. I have a cup of tea still. I'm gonna leave in a little while and go over and see the grandkids, because the grandkids in Spokane are all like grown. They do their own thing, so I don't get to see. That's the thing about time. It's like, I wish I would have spent more time, because then as soon as this other time switches over, it just switches, and people just start having it's like these new realities are birthed all the time. So, anyways, but I'm gonna go see the younger ones um, for the weekend. So I'll be back Sunday, but whenever I'm there, there's not really time to record. I'll see what my schedule's like. Maybe I'll go sit out back if nobody's up and talk if there's anything to talk about. That's another thing. I don't really know what's going on, because that's why some people aren't awake, is because they're not paying attention to that stuff. They have their own things going on in their life and they focus on that. So when I go around them, it's more about what's going on with them than what's going on in the world. And it's like, if you keep bringing it up, it's kind of like, okay, I got my own problems. So you just gotta go with the flow, you know. If you want to be around people, you just gotta go into their reality, and it's like shift gears, go into their reality, exist in that plane of existence, enjoy your time, and then move out and go to your own. Not sit there and argue and fight and try and force yours on them. Their reality is their reality, and everybody's realities are shifting. Like, I mean, the world is shifting, and so everybody's reality is going to shift, but you can't force them to shift before it's ready to shift. So and I'll tell you, it was trippy yesterday. Oh my God. Everything is so trippy. I swear to God. Hold on. Let me get a drink. I have everything off again, and I have the mic turned up. The dryer's on, but it's in the other room and the door's shut. So, the refrigerator's loud. Everything that's electric is loud to me. And lately, the frequency is like unbearable. I can't even believe how they crank it up. Like, I don't even know what it could be like for people who can't hear it. It's horrible. Let me think. Okay, yes, I wanted to say what happened yesterday, because it was fucking weird, because I keep on talking about, and like, this is kind of tripping me out on my drive even today, because I'm not going to do the backwoods highway. It's just, there's too many fires and stuff. And I think that's the road that's closed off to get to my daughter's, is if I went the back way. Is there's a big state park on fire, Rimrock, and there's evacuations over there, but she said it's like an hour from her. But that's a different road coming in. I think that's the one I would come in on if I did the back way. And it's a long, and I'd have to go through Mount Rainier. Like that, oh, I'm just gonna do the freeway. It's like, fuck. It's like entering this total chaotic realm. It's like its own, to me, it's like this portal. We all like go on this portal. It's like the hamster thing to me. Like, they set out this big giant habitat for us, and their habitat's falling apart because they got so greedy they didn't even put money back into it. Should have learned. So maybe they could have kept it going longer. There's no way though, because it's time for change. They kept it going long enough. They built it, broke it, built it, broke it, and they can't hold us captive, because eventually we start to wake up, or other beings come here to try and wake us up and stuff. But it's still, you still got to put it in perspective. It's all a game. This is just a game. This isn't our real life. Our real life's outside of this life. Hold on. So I'm going to have to, take on the freeway. But what's trippy is, so I keep talking about, like, something is weird. Something weird is going on. And I have been saying for a while, it was like I was leaving this reality. Like, I don't know. It's like I don't match it or something. And so it's like I'm in a different vibration or something. And it is, it's uncomfortable and awkward. Of course, you know, when you're having conversations with people, and you got to reel yourself in and just be true to yourself, but also not be overbearing with your information. And so, you know, it's a balance. And oh my God, I swear to God, I feel like I'm under attack all the time with these motherfucking archons. Yesterday, I don't really know a lot what was going on. I did all 4 of those paintings. I finished them all. It's just like, they were not like super, you know, intense. They were more like people saying, oh, will you paint me this? And so that's a lot more, I don't know, it's quicker. Like, then, I don't know. Maybe it's not for some people, but I don't know. When somebody tells me like, oh, could you paint me this? And then it just, I don't know, it goes faster to me. So anyways, I did 4 of those yesterday. And I finished the chair. I didn't do a video on here. I did one on TikTok. I could share it on here where I showed it. But I finished the chair. It's packed and stuff. But I did a little video to show it on TikTok. And then somebody said that they wanted to order one. They wanted me to do one for their little kid. They said their little kid was watching the video with them and was like, oh, they loved it. And it was a 3-year-old little girl who also loves sharks. And this one has a shark on it. So she was, and she likes dinosaurs. So I got to figure out, I got to get a chair. I got to get another little wooden chair. So I may try and look. Oh my gosh. Hold on. So hold on. So the, I was going off on another story. So I was, so I've been saying how I feel weird, like even this weird thing, like where I feel like I'm flipping over inside myself and these weird glitches, like I feel like something weird is going on and I feel distant from the reality. Like I feel fake. I feel like I'm very aware that I'm fake in this reality. I'm not really here. And so it's weird because part of it, you do feel like you're just watching things. Yeah, man, this is so weird because even when you try and say it with words, you can't explain really. But so I went yesterday to go get water because I decided I was going to leave today. My one daughter's off today, so I was like, okay, well, I'll leave today. And then, so I started doing all my stuff, getting everything together. And I decided to go get water because I had 2 empty jugs. And shit could go down. I mean, it can go down while I'm there. Like this, the Yellowstone thing has got people totally freaked. Or the doomsdayers trying to make a point, like Yellowstone's blowing up. So the Yellowstone thing is big. Italy has got a volcano going. There's a whole bunch of earthquakes in Hawaii. In Texas, they had an earthquake that was at 4.9 or something, split the ground, split open. There's all these shifts, you know, and they keep happening. There's all these fires, which they're setting. Somebody was at the park and watched an instigator set a fire, and they took a car, started on fire, rolled it down, and it just like turned everything into a big fire. She said she couldn't believe how fast it was, and she was freaked. She got pictures and videos of them. But these people are the same thing as like informants. Like they get away with stuff because they're sent out to do it. They're hired. Like that's what people have got to understand. These people out there doing this are like hired by the people in charge, which you can't say necessarily as a government because they're puppets. They're a front of who's really in charge. So it's all just, you know, crazy out there. Hold on, let me another drink. So, so shit could go down at any moment, anywhere. I mean, you gotta be prepared. Like this is This is when everything's going to start flipping. Kamala dropped out today. Joe went and made another live appearance. It's like this toying with us back and forth. Well, he's dead. Well, they need to show proof of life. Well, all this stuff. And then he comes back out just like, I'm great. I'm dropping out, though, and I'm going to do Kamala. Now she's like, well, I don't have the money. I can't do it. It's too expensive. And who knows what all the rigmarole shenanigans. Somebody was doing a video making a point like, oh, everybody clutches their pearls over Trump going and having affairs, but nobody talks about old Kamala over there, 31-year-old blowing a 61-year-old for a position, you know. So that all this stuff is all the stuff that's just going to keep being the conversations, you know. We're going to keep talking about these things and moving things, and there's so much more outrage too with the stuff going on at the shelters. Is like, oh my god, in the back, it's all of this moral thing, like with these fucking backyard breeders, and they're just dumping off puppies that don't sell. They're just dumping them out in the wood, dumping them on the streets. They're dumping moms. They're taking them to the places, and they're just putting them all down. It's outrageous. It's just so fucking disgusting. There's so much going on with that. But it's all to come to the surface. So we see and we look at it and we're like, this isn't okay. It's got to be so extreme for us to really be like, oh, we got to see the other pole. It's almost like, yeah, it's almost like they kept moving the pole. They kept moving the pole. So people kept becoming less moral. It was like slowly, like slowly turning up the water on the frogs so they don't know they're dying. Slowly, because your energy, your soul, that's what they're after, your consciousness. And as long as you don't know who you are in this game, they can try and get it. It's like a cat and mouse game. And so, and they have been robbing people's consciousness. I think they're going to have to give them back. I don't know how this got down because it's very, very weird. But let me get another drink. Okay, I finished. Okay. So, let's go back to the walk thing, because that is weird how the pole kept shifting, because now it's becoming very clear. Like, but it is, look how far out it is. It's like outrageous land. And we're just like, oh my God, you can't do that. That's horrible. But it had to go so extreme to wake us up, because it was like they were doing it slowly, generation to generation, and then creating a divide. So it always seemed like, well, those old people and those young people. And so it created this divide, but really they were moving it out to disconnect us from one another, because that is a lot of talk about this Gen Alpha. Gen Alpha to me is the start of what they're accomplished. And they are very disconnected from certain things. Like, there's a lot. Like, if they feel emotions, they can't handle it. I mean, these are prime people to be depressed and not be able to manage themselves at all. And because that was something that got me when I was started having kids that started becoming teenagers, and they started talking about anxiety. I've got anxiety. And I was like, well, everybody has anxiety. Like, confirmation. That's what it is, confirmation. Everybody's got anxiety. You got to work through it. You got to, you know, it's like the baby steps of like what I was talking about when you're trying to work through your fears. You got to work through it. You can't, like before, when my generation was younger, it was forced, you know. If you were, I remember being anxious about stuff. Like, I didn't want to call. I got to talk on the phone to some stranger. What are you talking about? I can't do that. And my mom forced me. She forced me to work through my anxiety. That's why I said sometimes having a hard-ass mom can be good, because they force you to do things that are uncomfortable, and then you have to deal with it. Oh, my mom just told me something else too this weekend. I still haven't gotten to the water thing. But she told me that she didn't ever know. She thought my dad wanted to marry her when he got her pregnant. You know, she was 16. And her mom knew immediately. She said that she was not feeling good. And her mom said, could you be pregnant? And my mom said, just however, she was like, I don't know. And then grandma was like, come on, we're going to the doctor, and took her down there and found out she was 2 months pregnant. But my mom says, that's impossible. You would be 11 months. Before she used to say I was 10 months, but now it's 11 months. So like, there's a lot of weird stuff about my existence in utero. But so they said that she was 2 months. And then, so she went home and, what was that? Okay, so she went home and her mom told her that she had to call, my dad. And so I think that's how it was. I know because my grandma was mad, and then she gave her these pills to cause me to come out. And then, which is a huge fight going on right now. Like, people, this is like, yeah, this pole, come on, scoot it over here. But, so she, but she called my dad, and he wasn't there. He was a womanizing pig from the start. And so his mom answered the phone, and she said she could tell just by my mom's voice, just how my mom was acting on the phone. She could just tell. So when my dad got home, this is gonna make me cry. That's so weird when you start. It's like you're reliving it, like you can see it happening. Like I can see the players playing this out. And so it's gonna make me cry. Hold on. I gained composure. I have no idea. It was gonna make me feel anything. And so she told him that he had to call my mom. She's pregnant. And he said, well, I'm leaving. I'm going to California. And she said, no, you're not. You're going to marry that little girl. And so my mom never knew about that conversation until years later. She said, you know, we were older when she ever heard that conversation, that she ever found out that he wanted to leave. He didn't want to marry her. She thought that whole time that they had this, like, he loved her and he wanted to marry her, and that's why they even did it, you know. And but you know, yeah, he wasn't like that. He had difficulties with love in this role that he was playing here, you know. Or his role seemed kind of like it was like a lot of lessons for him, because there was a lot of stuff with him, a lot with my dad. But so anyways, they got married, but he treated her horrible the whole time. And so anyways, she had found that out. But that does give you a different perspective of how when you're married to somebody and they're treating you horrible and you think that they love you, it's like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, you have to realize that somebody can say I love you when they really hate you. There's a lot of weird things about trusting somebody to be a partner with. And we were a little too easy before, you know. There's so much. This just blows my mind. Because yesterday, so I see this video. It was this guy saying to the women, you know, why are you going and doing these videos and showing your whole bodies and stuff? And I was like thinking, you know, what do these girls think? Like, they're going to go out here and, you know, show their body all over social media, have all these lechy guys all like talking about it. And you're going to spend time talking to any of them. And then you're going to weed through them, try and find a good one. Because the kind of guy you're going to draw is going to be like skeezy. And and then if you want to draw a guy of higher caliber, why would he be interested in a girl that's what she does? It's like, how do these girls not see? Like, you keep yourself in this vibration. And then he's like, why do they keep using, like, trying, like, that's all I got. That's all I got is my body. And he said something about this makeup stuff. He said, you're going to sit there with all this makeup on that looks like you could scrape it off with the thing. I told you, though, this was going to happen. I knew there was going to be this big shift. And it was going to come up and start hitting hard. And, but I saw that video, then I go a couple more. And this girl who's always trying to date, who's always talking about dating and stuff, and she would always be getting these weird positions to show her body. She always wanted to show her boobs. And it's obvious that they are paid for too, which, you know, I was there. I get it. I'm not saying, you know, I mean, I understand the insecurities. Like, that's for sure. But those are things that we got to work through, not take what they want. But then, but right after I saw that guy's video, because this girl is like a lawyer or something. I don't know what her thing is, but she is like, she has money, she seems successful, but she's using her body to draw in attention. And that's what this guy is saying. You guys are just like desperate for attention. And which that's what it shows. Like you start seeing through people without them knowing. You got to work on that desperation instead of going out and just showing everything. And it's just so wild because you see these girls who are professional, they've got money, they're beautiful, you know, everywhere they go in the physical that they get attention. It's like, but you won't give those people the time of day, but those are the people who are coming into your pathway. Those are the people who are there to be a part of your experience. But you're looking out here thinking, well, there's something better. If I show how hot I am, I'm going to get the hottest guy. It's like, that's not how it's going to work, sister. Because a guy who is a high caliber isn't going and getting those girls. Like, they can get those girls all day long. So, you know, there's about a zillion of them. So I don't understand that as being the plan. Like, I'm just going to show my body, shake my ass, do some dancing in my swimming suit, be real sexy. And then surely I'm going to get the love of my life. It's like you're degrading yourself. You're bringing yourself down from even being a person to just being a body. It's like, I don't know. But these are all these people's lessons. And I said, like, as we're sliding into home, everybody's going to be really exposing themselves so that they can really see themselves clearly. When that mirror comes up before them, it's going to be all they can see is like, oh, it's going to be very cringy. Like, people are going to be very cringed about themselves. And then you can't get away from it. When you do something stupid, it doesn't matter if you shut your eyes, doesn't matter if you turn up the music, doesn't matter if you get drunk, doesn't matter if you go run 10 miles, doesn't matter what you do. As soon as you stop doing it, there it is. You have to work through it. And it is hard. That's why there's going to be so many people who are going to opt out. But what I've got to keep saying is there's going to be so many that you just have to keep in mind that was the way they were always leaving. That is a part of what this whole experience is going to show. We're going to see, you know, it is very difficult to face yourself and to heal. And we're healing big stuff. We're healing lifetimes of shit, man. And people are in these hard relationships that have carried on through these patterns from life to life to life. And so people have big stuff they're trying to deal with, and everybody's so cut off from their soul, like that heating us up, like the frog. So we just distanced ourselves. They created, like I said, a disconnect in the Wi-Fi between you and your soul. It's like, you know, you're trying to play a video game. Oh yeah, you're trying to play a video game, but you can't communicate. And then the avatar thinks it's on its own and just starts. I always knew I wasn't on my own, but I think I think the majority of people think that they were on their own. And so they start listening in the game instead of listening to the controller, the one who, but that connection between the two is interfered from whatever they do through the frequency. Like when we go to the higher frequency, there's going to be a lot of healing though. I mean, there's going to be a lot of people who are going to opt out because it's hard to face yourself, and you're there no matter what. No matter what you do, you're still there, and you still feel the feelings that you feel. And so a lot that people are going to feel like, well, I've just got to kill myself. I just can't handle it. And that's the thing, is like, you can't get away from it there either. Like, and you just made it more complicated, because then you go in your life review, then you realize, you remember, oh yeah, that was a game anyways. And then you have to go through all that, but then you're like stuck at that level in the game. You can't level up in the game just because you die. You don't get to just be like, okay, that part's got forgotten. No. We're dragging around pain from long time ago, from life after life after life. You carry that with you. There's nothing that goes away. You die and it just goes away. No. That is the disconnect from understanding your soul, what your soul is doing. Maybe your soul like leaves this life and all of a sudden it forgets everything about it. No, this character that you're creating becomes a part of you. This life, it becomes a part of your library. It's like a part of the Akashic library. That it is a storyline, and it is a part of you. You are making decisions all the time to develop the character that you're becoming. You're deciding, you know, am I impatient? Am I angry? Am I lovable? Am I loving? Am I caring? Am I kind? Am I, you know, you are the one who is in development. You're developing yourself into the character you want to be. And we've got, you know, everybody watching. But I don't want to say every single person is doing the same thing, because some of the people are here to, it's like, create a parameter for the game, and so they are playing roles. And but if the roles fit with what it is they're there to learn, but so, you know, there has to be good guys and bad guys. And so, but the people who are bad guys could have very well in the last life been the good guy and you were the bad guy. That's why you got to not get caught up in the good guy, bad guy. Just, it's, look at it more of like the game and the players, or the movie and the other players, because that is, you know, that's how real it is to your soul. It's like the same thing as a movie. Just like how we can watch a movie and go, well, it's not real, it's not real. Your soul can do that to this. Well, it's not real. This is nothing here is real. And it is, it's so trippy how real it seems, you know, and how they've told us for so long. Is this light really bright? Yeah. It's like, God damn. So that they tell us that that this is all there is, you know. They don't understand it. We're all just some kind of freak accident. And then I did see somebody yesterday talking about, oh, it was Vincent Kennedy on Twitter. He said some drop about something with religion, and the kind of like the, what did he call them? I think he said the Satanists began to create the Z, and that was like the mask, and then, but it was really their worship is, I don't know, I think it's Baal or something. I don't know what their worship thing is. But then, so they became disease and decided, it's so weird how you say that, it's like disease, because it is a disease. And then they decided to create this other religion to get control, which is Christians. And he said it shorter because it was only a couple lines. And then he said, some religious people are really going to have a hard time. Or maybe that was in the comments. But Yeah, but I think he said it, and then in the but people are starting to realize like they're really, really programmed. They're really indoctrinated, and they are gonna have a really hard time because there's like these default switches, these firewalls or something, and so it's all set up to just keep twisting them back. And I'm telling you, when I have talked to my mom, it's so trippy. I mean, especially just to go, like, it's so black and white. It's so cut and dried. There's one God. There's only this guy, and you have to worship him. You have to say his name. You can't just be like, oh, God, I love God. No. And then he will fucking massacre you if you don't, because he's such a loving guy. And then the and he's the only one, and he doesn't talk to us. He doesn't talk to us. We're below him. And so you don't get any, but sometimes preachers can sometimes get they can have the word of God come into their mind, but just regular Joe Mo, whatever, just regular old me, especially if it's your daughter. And then I was thinking, I don't think a parent can see their kids' value so much if they don't see their own value. Like, you have to value yourself to see the value of your kids, It's part of it. It's part of the lessons and stuff. My hair's driving me crazy, so I'll keep on doing that because it's looking so weird. I just took the braid out. I was going to leave it in, but it was massacred too. It was like, so I was like, but maybe I might rebraid it to drive. So anyways, whatever I was saying about that, the massacre. Because yeah, you can't, if you don't like yourself, you can't like anything that comes from you. You don't have the same value of it. So I don't know. There's a lot of trippy things about all this stuff going on. It's very trippy. But there is this weird thing about, like, I feel like I'm not really here. Like, I feel like it's a dream. Like, I feel like I'm lucid dreaming all the time. And this was so weird, is that I left to go get water. And usually there's, like, nobody. Especially during the week. There's, like, nobody on the roads. It's just like, I mean, you might pass a few cars. But especially the one where I turn to go get the water, sometimes there's some trucks or something, but it's not like a heavy traffic road. And so I was driving, and I turned on that road and started going down. No, I went to a little store first, and then I came out of the store and went. And I guess I wasn't looking behind me or something, because there's never anybody behind me. So I was just watching for the place I needed to turn. And then I saw a truck sitting there, and I was like, oh, damn it. Sometimes you get stuck behind these people, and this was one of them. I could not believe. I mean, what do you have, 100-gallon jugs you're filling? Like, what do you even do with them all? Like, go get some bigger containers or something. I don't know, it was irritating the fuck out of me. It's just sitting there. And then, this is so weird too. All there is this little tiny spot on the side of the road, and this pipe coming out, and people have, like, fixed it and stuff, and this water shooting out. And so I pull up where their truck is, in front of their truck. The lady walks over to her truck to get some more gallon jugs every 2 seconds, get some more jugs, and she mouths to me, "Are you here for water?" I was like, what the fuck? That right there was like so fucking weird. What else would I be here for? No, I'm just sitting here. I just thought I'd watch you guys for a while. Like, what in the world? Like, is this your first time? Like, it was so weird. But I just sat in my car and was like, yeah, I'm here for the water. Oh my God. But what was really weird was, though, so when you turn in, like, usually there's not somebody there, but there's been a couple times and it's always these fucking weird long things like this. So who knows how long they'd even been there. But so they had a big old truck, so they were taking up some of the spot. Because usually I can turn and go and turn around, and then I just go into the spot and go get my water, and then I go. And so I turned, but I hit into the side of the hill, because it comes up the side of this hill. It's really cool too. It's really pretty. It looks like you're gonna see dinosaurs coming, which there's people who are doing videos saying that there's pterodactyls up in the sky. So, and there's people saying dragons. There's some stuff like, but I think you have to be the same vibration as it to see it. But so so I couldn't turn all the way. So I start to turn, and then I hit into the thing, and I did it as this big giant logging truck full of logs is coming. But it was pretty far back, and I was like, oh, I can make that turn easy. Well, then I stop, and I put it in reverse. I start to go. There's a truck behind me. I was, where the fuck did that come from? That freaked me out. So that was so much like that same thing, because I was going in reverse. And this truck was in my lane behind me. Like, what in the hell? And why in the hell didn't this guy stop? It was like, man, it was like two different worlds just passing. Like the same thing that happened at that other time when I was 16. And I thought, oh, I'm about to be crushed by an 18-wheeler. And I just closed my eyes. And then I opened them, and I was on the other side of it. And it was like that. It was so fucking weird. And so I started to turn, and then I hit the thing, started to go back. I look at my rear view. This truck is right here. So I just stop. I look over here. The logging truck is barreling up. And I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck is going on? And I knew it was like my, I don't know what you can call it, your guides, your angels, your whoever that is there with you all the time. And it's like there's this protection. So these things can't happen unless they're meant to happen. But when you see these things going around you, it is like, oh my God, it's so trippy. And so somehow that truck, I don't even know, it was like the road suddenly became huger. Like the road is narrow. I was like, what? I'm across all the way this way. I'm half in this. Where's this guy going? It's a guardrail. Like, it's off the side of the thing. I was like, this is totally trippy. And so then all of a sudden I just stopped, let him go by. I look at the thing, I pull back, I turn, and I go up, and that guy goes by. I was like, oh my gosh, that was, I was just, I was sitting there just like processing, like, what the fucking magic just happened? And so I was like, that was so fucking weird. The timing and everything. And it was like, in my guides, it was kind of like they were saying, don't stress about tomorrow. Or showing you the magic that is there. Like, we protect you when you need protecting. You don't have to stress when you don't need to stress. Like, nothing can hurt you unless it's meant to hurt you. And I was like, oh my God, that was so trippy. So then I get my water, and these other guys pull up, and they pull in behind me. That's when those people finally stopped. And they looked so stressed too. Like, oh my God, the guy, he looked like Woody Allen or something. He comes out and he's just like so stressed out. He gets in his ginormous truck, and they drive off. And they probably just waited for us to get our water, and then they came back. I was like, how many goddamn gallon jugs do you have? Like, geez. And so then the guys that came behind me, I don't know, they seem like outdoorsy kind of guys. But they had those jugs, only glass ones. Because I kept thinking, man, those glass ones, I would like to switch over to glass, but it'd be so heavy. So I saw he put it in milk crates so you can carry it. He said they also have these handle things you can get for them, but they are super heavy. And if they touch each other, he said one thing with the crates is good too, because they can't touch each other because they'll break. And they're like $30 to buy one of the glass ones. But, you know, it's not plastic. So plastic's bad, but I bet just picking it up and putting it on the thing, it's just way heavier, because those things are pretty heavy. So weird. When I was younger, I used to need help with them. Now just like, and it used to be I'd go to the gym and stuff. I swear to God, it's so much more effective just to have your weights in your house, just do some throughout the day. And what got me in that way of thinking was when I started doing all this work around here, and I was on my own. I was over here, I was by myself, and I was having to do stuff, and some things I needed 2 people, and it was just me, and I'm having to do things, pick things, like all sorts of stuff. So I do my weights like that, like the kinds of things when I would have to lift things and stuff. So I just do it to prime myself every day throughout the day, a couple times a day for a couple minutes. And makes you so much strong. Like, it really is the consistency. Anything you do consistently, you will see the benefit. You just got to stick with it. So, and all this stuff, you know, and I know some people have really let themselves go with aging, and especially because, I mean, you had everything going against you, the stuff in the food, or just our general society, the way things that people push you and stuff. Like, it's so weird. Like, body positivity, unless you're thin, then, you know, you need to gain some weight. Oh my gosh, see, they just did it again. Oh my God, it's horrible book. I'm so sick of it. God, I can't wait till these motherfuckers go down. I'm so sick. Maybe it's the fucking planet frequency, but it's in the clouds, man. Yesterday it was so cloudy and so motherfucking cold. It said it's like 69. Felt like it was like 50 or 45. It was so cold. I don't know how they do this fucking nonsense. And they just tell us a number. Oh, well, it's 70. Oh, okay, well, I'm about to start a fire. So, I know 70, I know. It was fucking freezing. And oh, well, I still want to finish about, I don't know what the fuck I was talking about that. But so when I started driving and I started going back and, you know, just driving, all of a sudden there was a guy on the road on a bike. This old, like a home, like I'll see, like I've passed these bike riders, like there's some crazy ass bike riders who just go out like, on that drive home even. Well, they must go up to the mountains and park and, camp, and then they go out and ride these fucking, I'm just not into that. You can do what you want to do, but fuck. So, but they're that's what they like to do. And so you pass these bikers, bike riders, in their whole thing. They probably are studying or practicing for some kind of marathons or something. But this was like a regular, like, homeless bike rider or guy who didn't have a car or something. And he was just like on the side. But the weird thing was, is I did not see him at all. I didn't see him coming, nothing, until he was just right next to me. I was like, oh my God, are we just literally, like how I was just saying, like I can understand with this window thing, like I can see it, this window thing of frequencies, like these, like, like that guy would be his own frequency, and I would be my own frequency. And you know, it's like this passing by. It's like the same thing with the Sasquatch. It's the same thing as what I was just saying. You know, if you're gonna see a dragon or a dinosaur or whatever is up there, if you're gonna see the magic, you have to be in the vibration of the magic, otherwise you don't see it. And so but it is like this quick moment of passing this other vibration or something. It's like these vibrations, and like I've said before, the roads are like portals too. Like I swear to God, how they are able to see, like they're really into maps. Think about all the fucking maps they do. I think that they have some maps or something that shows like energetic portals. That's why they want to keep us away from certain places. Now they're supposedly making the, what is that place called? The Grand Canyon off limits. And that we already know, like, I think that those guys who are walking from India, it wouldn't surprise me if they went through there, like that there's some way down, you know, because there's portals everywhere. And so I think how they made the roads, how they put together roads and stuff, that it is, oh, okay, so, oh, okay, so how I was seeing back there, in the forest, when I won't go walking back there, which I'm not gonna go now. I mean, they already had a bear down here in the neighborhood, so they're that low, and that means if the bears are that low, the mountain lions are that low. I'm not fucking going walking out there in the forest with them. Fuck that. And Stella would probably try and fight them. That'd be like hellacious. And unless we got a nice bear who was just like ran off, but some are kind of crazy. The cocaine bear. If you haven't watched that, that was a good movie, really. So the when you go back there, you can tell like it's like little roads where it always like I can see like these little narrow kind of like jalopies, kind of like a milk truck going through these little roads, you know, going and stopping at these houses that are all out. Okay, so out in the forest is always a different vibration or frequency. So that, like, if you think of the honeycomb, so that is a different reality, a different frequency in that, you know, space globe, that honeycomb. However big that area encompasses. And then the roads to travel outside of the forest are a different vibration. So where they set up roads, it was a different vibration. So before you were back in there driving around, it was like a community or a village or something, all was like it had its own vibration. Everybody kind of adapted to the requirements or something, like the rules of life around all these people. When people passing through, or people that were black sheep or whatever, you know, were kind of more excommunicated, like, go on your way, get out of here, we don't want you here, you don't belong in these parts. So they would push people out. And then people would go, a lot of people would feel uncomfortable in certain lifestyles and places. And then there was a part where they took up on the roads, on the railroads, and they traveled by the train, and they would go to a lot of different places that became like hobos. And then there was a whole thing where there was not food and stuff, but the people were way different. People were way more sharing, and a guy could walk up to your place and say, hey, I'm hungry. And you say, well, I've got some jobs you can do, and I'll make you supper. And they'd come in and do it. There was these exchanges, you know, and that is a way better way to live, putting things into balance and exchange of energy. So that is more, being like that now is a more positive energy in the ways of being, and not this battle of division and I'm better than you and get away, I don't trust you, you creepy criminal, get out of here. So but then they started building these freeway system, and they linked their cities, and their cities aren't, they create the vibration that this dark, toxic, I don't know, they invite the archons first or something. Like, it's heavy in the dark energy. And I think, because like trees and nature are kind of like a filter system. Like, is the dark energy can't, like, it can't move. It's like the trees give us oxygen, but they also have a vibration, and the archons can't. That doesn't mean that there's no negative energy that is ever in the forest. I mean, there's definitely dark forests and stuff. There's dark, scary places. There's places that are used as portals where beings come in. So it's not just all, you know, like, run to the forest and you'll be safe. But it seems like that the dark energy that attaches to us is it can't, there's like an interference in its existence. It's like it's more put off from entering into there. And so that energy stays up, but it's very prolific in the cities. And then you think about the cities as all stale and concrete, and it can jump from person to person. It's always jumping around on people. And people have caught that in videos and stuff now. People have seen it, and people are like, what the fuck is that? It's like this dark energy, and it's going to go to where's the darkest place, and it could be just bringing a lot of stuff up and stuff. Like, you got to tune into your relationship with the dark energy, and figure it out. But it's there, it's real. And a lot of people think it's like these demons are trying to outsmart them and stuff. It's more like worms, energy worms that live off it, like the micro macro. It's this parasitic thing, this dark energy, but it will hold you back, and it can hold you back because of how you feel about yourself, because you think you're a piece of shit, so it will hold you in that place of thinking you're a piece of shit. That's why you gotta learn how to love yourself. Get rid of those motherfuckers. Get those motherfuckers off your back. And so you want to learn how to love yourself, because that pushes them out, just like the trees. The trees love themselves. We're more of the issue with the trees, the people who come in to cause destruction. But so that's probably why they can't get through and interfere. That's probably why it's a filtering thing. That's probably why so many people go into the forest and feel good. They go into nature and they feel good. And then they come out and then they probably got your dark energy just sitting there waiting. They could be sitting just waiting on your bed till you get back. You got to break free from them. You got to tell them, get the fuck out of here. Like, you don't have any, they don't have to be like touching you at all times. They can be around, and they can, I swear they can take up like forms. I don't know. Like, I can see weird shit, man. So anyways, but they pull people into the cities, and then they make all this real, and it's all this lure too with, it's kind of like flashy lights and easy women and lots of alcohol, and draw you into this exciting life where you can have it all. But it's like the being is like, well, I mean, if you're drawn to that, that you're full of your lessons. And so, but as you advance, I think you go towards like, that stuff doesn't attract me. I'm not attracted to that. I'm attracted to peace and serenity and joy and happiness. Like, I was always like, when people would put on a porn or something, I was always like, oh my God, this poor girl. Like, I could just see, like, all these people are damaged, abused people. How we can get off watching this? This is sad. I'm like, this is, I was just something I could see through, where it was like, I'm not attracted to some of that stuff. I'm not attracted to, I can see people's pain. I can see something that other people can't see. It's like, oh no, I can't do that. And so, but it's in each of us. We all have to have that thing. It's like choosing the light and seeing that the dark is not good. It's not good for any of us. It gets us all to treat each other poorly and think bad about ourselves. But you got to break free from all that and start, it's like the parasitic cleanse is also what you need to do with your soul. And you need to release, get rid of all of this stuff that is in there eating you away and keeping you distant from yourself, so that you can, find peace and joy and happiness in yourself, where you can feel complete, where you feel good about yourself. Like, I mean, it just shows too, how is being successful and beautiful and having the things you need fulfilling enough if you become so desperate in order to find a partner? Then there's something inside of you that is not complete. There's something inside of you that's missing, that's lacking. And that's what you need to be focused on trying to make yourself feel complete and happy. And then that other girl who I'd seen who's doing the same thing, she had said, she has no desire to learn how to love herself. Like, what the hell? But then I saw another one where she was like, well, they say that if you're borderline, you're going to kill yourself in your 40s or something. I don't want to do that. It's like, I don't understand how people think it's like out of your control. Like, it's not, they're putting that into your head. Like, you have to break free from their bullshit. See what they like with their labels and diagnoses, and then they want to watch and see, oh yeah, well, how many of them did do themselves in? Like, all of this stuff, man, it's just so corrupted. Like, the doctors, the people who you trust with your health, and they're just, paid. They don't even know what the fuck they're doing. My mom and I were also talking about something with medical, and I think I was talking about when I was so sick. She was like, "Yeah, I thought you were gonna die or something. I was so sick." And the doctor, the pharmacist told me that the doctor needed to change the meds. The doctor said that the pharmacist was crazy. And my mom had a friend who was a pharmacist who lived to be like in his 90s. And he's the one who told her, you've got to have these certain enzymes. If you run out of these enzymes, you'll just die. See, that's what they're shorting us on, these enzymes, these minerals and stuff. We need these minerals, and everything works together. But that's what they're doing, is shorting us because they know that we will die. And that's what they say, well, you're aging. It's like, no, we're being fucking starved. And so, starved of minerals, fed a bunch of, same thing as what they got us to do with dogs. I mean, there's all these people who feed all their dogs just this cardboard filler stuff and think that that's supposed to make your dog healthy. It's like, you can't just feed them cardboard and think they're going to be healthy. And that's what they've been doing to us. But see, we got to click in our compassion for them, for the things that we do. And so we have to face, our part, our role in all of this. And so that you have these, all these people who just eat a bunch of filler and have no nutrition. But she said that that guy that she knew had also said, doctors are idiots. They don't know anything about chemistry. They don't teach that. You have to go become a chemist to learn that. So the doctors don't understand about all these chemicals and these medications and stuff. That's why they're just told by these professionals, these agencies, that how it works and why you should use it and stuff. But it's all just it's so Rothschild motherfucking Rockefeller bullshit. Teach them to what you want them to know, just so they know enough to tell them the wrong stuff, so that they tell us. So we've just, but in the awakening, the doctors, in their role, they should be awakening to the truth about stuff. And I know some are completely changing things and stuff. So, but the ones that aren't waking, either they're playing a dark role, or they're going to be impacted. Like, some are going to be going to before the judicial, or the even though it's military, that whole thing. There's certain words, you got to watch out. And so I'm sure they don't want us, talking about that. But those people, there's going to be a lot of those kind of people. Medical, there's going to be a lot of judicial, and there's going to be a lot, God dang. Is there's like so many, like, that is a lot of investigation. Because there is like a lot, it's like you'd have to be in every little fucking meeting, all these backroom meetings going on, all these corrupt people, and they all find each other in every aspect of our reality. They're kind of pushed into finding each other, because it's like destiny. It was like what we were here to experience. We were here to experience all of that stuff, and now we're here to experience the growing out of it. It's like, oh, micro, macro, like, why so many of us were born into like abusive houses, or houses that had a lot of issues and stuff, is we were supposed to be learning to champion ourselves, because now we're at this time where it's another level of being able to champion yourself. So you use those same skills and abilities that you use to get over things, to continue to expand those, to keep getting over things as they get bigger and bigger and bigger. You use those same skills so that you can move past all of the things that hold you back. It's like, those are the chains that that holds you back in life. And that is where you got to release them and let go of things. Because it is like these chains that hold you down. He's like in Scrooge, where he was walking with his chain. You know, at the first, when Jacob Marley comes and he's talking, I think that's his name. He's talking about his chain, and he was telling Scrooge, your chain, Ebenezer, is even bigger than mine. It was this big, decades ago or something. It was, but it is like all your baggage and your, because it is like the people who come across your path that are there for you to help or assist or to interact with. When you ignore them, then it's like adding on to this weight. For us, it's kind of like you had an opportunity to heal something and you didn't, so it burdens you still. It still carries along with you. So the weight of the things that have been done to you or you've done throughout lifetimes still is a part of the chain that you carry, the burden, the baggage, the all those things. That really is something to the soul. You really are carrying around this stuff, because you can't, it doesn't disappear like when you die or leave this life or whatever. No, this is only one little tiny part of you, what is going on here in this existence. So this is just it's only a part, it's not the whole thing. So this of course stays with you, every decision you make, everything that you do. And when you are hateful and don't care about people or all those things, when you put things out of balance, then you are creating this karmic situation where you have to keep putting things back in balance. Like your behavior and who you are does have an effect on existence. And so it's kind of like this becoming aware of the effect you have on existence and the effect you have on your existence. That's why I say it's like it's up to you to figure out how to have a good day. Like no matter what things are happening, you got to walk yourself through it, talk yourself through it, find your peace in everything that happens, everything that occurs. It's up to you to manage. You can't just get overwhelmed. When you get overwhelmed, what do we think of when we see a kid get overwhelmed and start having a fit? It's like a temper tantrum. It's like this kid can't manage themselves. They're just a child. Well, it's the same thing. If a soul can't manage themselves, they're just a child. They're not developed. And what are we trying to do here? We're trying to develop. But we have a lot of handicapped people because they don't know, they're not connected to themselves. Because if you're connected to yourself, you have, like, the book is written inside of you. And in the book that's written inside of you conflicts with the book that they try and sell you. That's the thing. And like, I know that a lot of people who are religious, that they feel like they know there's another world. They know there's a spiritual world. They can feel it. They've had interactions and stuff, even if they don't want to say. But the whole thing is like, that is real. It's where you are trying to focus your energy, though, isn't real. So the spiritual side of the world is real. The magic side of the world, all of that is real. But it's when you're trying to force a storyline that isn't real. And so that Bible is a distraction. It's something to confuse you. But the thing is that the story's inside of you. The truth is inside of you. And so you got to work through that conflict of what does your soul tell you about this place? Not what does this book tell you? And what do all these people who are under the spell of the book tell you? And to try and put pressure on us and to try and force us into participating. It's like so culty, and it's so it's like so, some of those movies, yeah. some of those movies where they would go to these little towns and the people would all start being alike and acting alike and all these rules and stuff. That's what they want, and that's what they try and do. And they want us to police each other for, because they can't keep up. That's why they want to reduce so much of the population. But all their wants and hopes and dreams are all ending, and ours are beginning. So we don't need to worry about what they wanted. Oh yeah, and this is a big thing too. Like, I can't even get over this. The 2-5. When we have the 3-0, you have the 3-0 that is real, and we are in the process of it all occurring. But all these people, that TDS, you just throw them a bone and they just all, blah, they go crazy over it. And so apparently Donald has been saying, no, that's not my thing. No, that's not mine. And they won't stop. This is what he's trying to do. This is what he's trying to do. They're freaking the fuck out over it. And there's big protests happening, and there's one, I think it was in DC. There's one, it was like the bell, that big bell. It was all painted on it. There's HAMAS painted all over the place. They were BURNING, the FLAG. Like, I don't know when they stopped teaching it in school, but when I was a kid, you weren't even allowed to let that thing touch the ground. You started that thing on fire, you were going in the same position. They're going to just strap you down and start you on fire. Like, I can't believe this stuff. Like, it was TREASON before. And I keep thinking, well, I bet there's scammers. I bet these people out there, they're going to be facing their own stupidity. They're going to be facing them as, yeah. And, I said that. I said that this was going to happen. I said that these people are just bringing another war onto our thing. They're getting themselves involved in something. Oh, man. So there's in D.C. And then they've also got that the guy from the Real. He's here, their leader. And so there's all these demonstrations and stuff. There's all this big drama and stuff of closing off parts of D.C., which is just a closed down place anyways. They're still trying to make like Joe's there. It's like, it's so ridiculous. And, but there was some big protests and stuff. I guess New York is really bad, and then they sent all the New York cops down to this one. Like, it's just weird shit. It just keeps going and going. But but yeah, their protests are turning into, like, you guys, you don't go on our soil and be under another flag. Oh, my Lord, have mercy on my soul. And then go out and start burning. Oh, Lordy, Lordy, Lordy. These people don't have any idea. I don't know what they were taught in school, but we were obviously taught something different when I was in school. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, you guys, like, fuck. And they're not going to see it coming, I don't think. I don't know how this is going to play out. Because then that would be the person who they would blame if that guy all of a sudden became in charge. I don't know. Like, this is just wild. There's a lot of wild shit going on. And, I got to go through Seattle to go anywhere. So that's a hot spot of stuff. Like, all of these different places. All I just want to do is get over there, see everybody, give the stuff that I have for them, and then get back over here. And then get back into my safe place for wherever. And, I get in my mind, like, this is my safe place, but wherever you are is where you're supposed to be. And I don't know, like, the earthquakes can go, like, anything can go. Like, we could have that fucking volcano here in Washington go. Everybody's eyes on Yellowstone. Like, we have a lot going on, man. And something big is coming. That's the thing. Something real big is coming. And then maybe that's going to be the big thing's going to happen. And then the other guy's going to step in to, I don't know. I don't know. I just know that there's a lot of endings. And we're going to have beginnings. And that the endings are preparing us for the beginnings. because it's like giving us way more tools. So as we start creating this new reality, this new world, that we clearly don't want to do anything that was done to us. We want to really do things up in a new way. We want everybody to get to live freely and make your own choices. You're responsible in the end. You're responsible. And if you try and, force what you want on somebody else, then you're making a karmic entanglement. You're making an energetic entanglement. We got to all be able to just throw our hands up. Hey, it's your lesson. Hey, do what you want to do. You make your own choices, because it's comes back on you. It all comes back on you. Whatever you do comes back on you. So, and it's lifetime after lifetime. You don't get to just sneak off and get away, and like the universe isn't going to notice you. Like, what? So anyways, I probably I'll see how tomorrow and the next morning goes, but then Sunday I'll record and I'll talk about whatever happened. If I don't talk about it while I'm there, there could be all sorts of stuff going down, and I'll be like, oh, I gotta go talk about this. So we'll see, especially if it starts being enough stuff going down that other people talk about, because something's going on that my daughter, and I don't know if it's that 25 thing, it's just whoa, all over the place, but because she starts saying we're going into the Handmaid's Tale, and I can see how that is a part of what is supposed to play out for some people to wake them up. So, because that was a big influence. So they do have that aspect coming at them, that would be something. I don't see it. So what I see is a whole lot of crazy shenanigans, a whole lot of crazy shit is teaching people to be better people, and then this old world collapsing, and then us rebuilding into a new one that's going to be far superior, and we aren't going to have control over us. The control will be written inside of us, and so we're going to be, it is like heaven on earth, because we're going to be living by our truth that is written inside of us, and that is not an influence by these other energies. So they're dark energies. They're the balance to all the light. There's got to be both. So that's how you get a choice. Like, you gotta make a choice. So make the right one. Make the right one for you. It's up to you. Do what you want to do. But in the process, make sure that you are working on learning how to love yourself, love everyone, and how to have a loving day, because it's up to you. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.